Disclaimer, this is a topic that goes way deep in the depths I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Atlanta gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at Lil Meat's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could lead him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel Lil Meat might be the most consistently disrespectful artist out of the Atlanta drill scene, while at the same time being one of the more gifted artists when it comes to rap skill in the entirety of Atlanta. Thanks, I hope you enjoy. Lil Meat is a prominent yet rising Atlanta drill musician who, through his own consistency and considerable rapping ability, has grown to be one of the most underrated artists to spring up in the entirety of the Atlanta music scene. Him only really being held back by how anti-mainstream his music is, given the content with him dissing and such, and the fact that bro's name is literally Lil Meat. This is the story of Atlanta's top op, Lil Meat. Originally being born on the west side of Atlanta, Lil Meat would grow up in Zone 3, which in my limited experience seems to point to the fact that growing up, like many of his peers, Lil Meat's family wouldn't be super well off. Though considering that Lil Meat also is one of the few rappers in Atlanta drill who graduated, it seems he might have had some good guidance in his life. Though there are also fight videos centering around bro when he was very young, or when he was just small. He could just be fucking small, where he's trying to fight like an anime protagonist, jumping off of walls and doing ninja shit. Bro looks lil as fuck, not on cap. But he definitely gonna find the One Piece if he keeps on training like that on me. All jokes aside, Lil Meat would also look up to his dad, who by no sheer coincidence went by the name Meat, or Big Meat, Ayo. Most likely due to having the name Demetrius, if I had to guess. We knew someone in our high school who was named Demetrius, who we all just called Meat or Meech interchangeably, so I mean, could just be a southern thing. In his On the Radar interview, Lil Meat would go on to say he wouldn't wind up gaining interest in rapping until he was around the age of 12. And seeing how proficient he is behind the mic, it's no wonder he began so early. Don't let his talent and his school performance fool you, however. Lil Meat would also excel in criminal activity just as well, if not better. Like many others who grew up on the west side of Atlanta, Lil Meat was originally killed for Caden, before the beefs and shit split up all that shit. His main allegiance currently is with his CG crew, or Casket Gang. I'm gonna let you guess what they do. It involves murder. Memes aside, CG beefs with damn near the entirety of the known Atlanta drill scene, with Lil Meat often dissing artists like Lil Tony, Lil Birdie, Lil Drabo, Lil Ray, hell, bro is even dissed the Lil motherfucker Lil RT. His main philosophy seems to be fuck everyone else, I'll claw my way to the top on my own. In turn, growing him a strong and loyal cult following, never breaking into the mainstream, but steadily growing nonetheless. The first music video that Lil Meat would go on to drop, that's still on YouTube, on his YouTube channel, would happen to be on my birthday, funnily enough, on April 29th, 2022. This song would be a great way to set the tone for all of his future tracks as well, with his non-stop delivery, his clever references, and his lyrics carrying the song into 192,000 views. For an early music video, that goes crazy, and bro damn near brought out his whole hood for the music video, which is always good to see. Around the same time, Lil Meat would begin to branch out, and he wouldn't be all beefs and mindless violence. His next big music video, the November 26, 2022 track, Trick or Treat, would feature another rising and frankly underrated drill artist from the West, Teflon Zay. Teflon Zay is someone who I plan on covering later on, so I'm gonna keep my synopsis on him for a later time, but Lil Meat would switch it up on this track and try to rap on some more melodic, auto-tune type shit. In all honesty, it works pretty well with how clever his lyrics can be and his cadence. This track is currently sitting at a strong 532,000 views. I'm low-key surprised it ain't at 1 million though. The very next track will be more of the same, so I'm gonna skip over it. The very next track after that, though, on March 24th, 2023, Start a Riot, would be the first track that Lil Meat dropped to break 1 million views. This song being one of the songs I go back to most often in his catalog, with the beat that's similar to a Bronx drill relationship dance type track, with the more melancholic feeling and vibe to the lyrics. This shit hits so fucking well that it made me rethink my top artists from Atlanta off this one fucking song. The sample does it wonders. This song, Start a Riot, got a strong 1.6 million views, and is still the most popular track Lil Meat has ever made to this day. He would go on to continue the sound of his previous success with the next video, to be released on April 24th, 2023, the track specifically being Wins and Losses. This track would also sample a pop song much like Start a Riot, and like Start a Riot, this song would be a fine example of how great Lil Meat is as a rap artist, him truly excelling over his peers through straight rapping ability rather than beats or melodic shit, even though he still dabbles in both impressively. This trend of sampling popular pop songs would continue with this next track, John Wick, as well. By this time, the whole of Atlanta was starting to warm up to Lil Meat, as seen by the comments not making fun of his name as much as they used to, and glazing his ability to rap, as I'm gonna be doing the whole video, I'm not gonna lie to you. Meat would even go on to experiment with his beat selection, with tracks like Fuck Them Boys, No Diddy, Hell Nah, as this would be yet another sampled track, but this time using a way more fast-paced, experimental drum pattern that lends itself well with Lil Meat's flow and voice. Of course, this song also has his staple hard-hitting lines, but that's a given at this point. Things will begin to average out view-wise around the same time, with songs like Millions of People, Kyrie Irving, Ain't I Remix, and Murder getting 108,000 views, 157,000 views, 180,000 views, and 286,000 views, respectively. Each being, of course, consistently great quality, just not reaching the fast tracks, view-wise, for one reason or another. Things would begin to look up with the release of his February 7th, 2024 track, Belt to Ass. This song will be filled to the brim with disses, leading it to end up getting a solid 544,000 views, which while not his peak number, is still pretty impressive for the scene in general and better than his last track. Arguably the most overlooked track that Lil Meat has ever put out will be the track Back from LA. It's one of my personal favorite tracks of his, but it's been trapped at 80,000 views for fucking forever. It's dead ass one of the only few videos with a small view count. Don't get me wrong, I've never reached the height of 80,000 views, but this song is so good it deserves at least 500,000. Motherfuckers asleep. Me shaking my fist at the sky aside, the July 21st, 2024 track, Free the Ops, would be a tad bit different than the other videos given that it was shot on the opposition's block, and is centered way more around dissing than the other tracks before. He had always dissed in tracks, but this was like a very much diss track, if you know what I mean. Motherfuckers love to complain about Lil Meat dissing all the time, but these same listeners seemingly only tune in when he's dissing and on BS. Every time he chills out, motherfuckers fall off listening. It's a tragedy of y'all's own making. If y'all don't want the music, don't listen to it. That's an excellent example of the negativity thriving. Let's take a look at his latest music video Lil Meat has deigned to drop. That being the May 6th, 2025 track, Last Response. This track would go crazy with Meat damn near dissing the entirety of Atlanta, from artists like Lil Deco, Rack Baby, hell, even Lil Drabo and them. Given the amount of dissing he did, it's safe to assume that an audience would follow, and follow they did, with this track racking up 526,000 views in 2 months at the time of this recording. If y'all don't want it, don't listen to it. Given his collabs with 4L members and Teflon Say, I can't say that Lil Meat and his crew are EBK, but bro damn near has a problem with literally every single person else other than these people. Given his raw talent and his ability to consistently put out great music over the span of years, it's safe to assume that Lil Meat will be a mainstay in the Atlanta music zeitgeist. I'm hoping he'll eventually reach the top of it, given his criminality doesn't overwhelm his artistry, of course, like many others. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment who y'all trying to see next, and subscribe with the bell to be notified of all my future uploads. Next week will either be a video on Lil Birdie or Huncho, followed by another recommendation from the comments that I have written down. We are closely approaching the face reveal set to happen at 1,500 subs, and after that milestone will be the 2K subscriber mark, which will be marked with a Q&A live stream hosted on my YouTube channel. If y'all want that, go on and subscribe. If y'all don't, I guess unsubscribe. With all that out of the way, I appreciate the fuck out of y'all as usual. Peace out. Chill out.
Fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.